1,101 days ago, I sent my first ever cold email. I had no clients, no case studies, and absolutely no clue what I was doing. All I had was a Gmail account and a lead list of strangers to email. Since then, I've booked over 1,000 sales calls and helped generate hundreds of thousands of dollars for myself and my clients. But like I said, it didn't always start that way. In the beginning, I got no responses and tons of people saying unsubscribe and absolutely no results at all. So in this video, I'll break down 3 of the biggest lessons that I learned and show you exactly how I turned cold outreach into a system that drives real revenue results and books meetings. So to make this super simple and easy to follow, I've mapped everything out here for you on the board. So just follow along as I walk you through step by step how this all works. Okay, so the first big lesson that I learned is to just send out more cold emails. You can have the most perfect cold email ever in terms of offer, in terms of targeting, but if you're only sending to like 30 people, your campaign will flop. No matter how good your offer is, no matter how good your targeting is, yes, you might book calls here and there, but if you're only sending to like 30 people, your campaign will just simply flop. Alex Morosi has a quote where he says, "Volume negates luck." And I remember when I first started out sending out cold emails, I was only sending 20 to 30 a day. Nowadays, you need to be sending out at least 500 to 1,000 a day. In some industries, you need to send out more. If you're targeting e-commerce brands, for example, you need to be sending out probably 800 to 1,000 a day minimum to even be able to book calls using cold email. So what the first lesson that I need you to realize is just send out more cold email, send out more volume. Because I speak to B2B businesses all the time, and I speak to clients, I speak to clients all the time who have tried cold email in the past, and they'll be like, Aryan, like, cold email doesn't really work for us. We tried it in the past. And I asked them, okay, well, how many cold emails do you send out a day? Like, what was your per day volume looking like? And they'll be like, oh, we sent out like 100 in like 3 months. And I'll sit there and I'll be like, well, you're sending out 100 in 3 months and you're not really going to do anything. Or you're not going to get any results. Sending out 100 cold emails in 3 months is the equivalent of putting like $3 on ad spend every day. Maybe your offer is that good that you might get a few calls here and there, but clearly that's not the volume required to get results with cold email, right? And to illustrate my point, I want to show you this example for a client that we had where we basically sent 22,000 cold emails on their behalf, had 62 positive responses, and at least over 15 to 20 calls booked from this, right? So we sent out tons and tons of volume, and that's how we were able to book calls in a niche like e-com where it's a bit saturated, quote unquote saturated, because there's so many people sending out to e-commerce brands. But the way we solved this was, 1, having a good offer, which I'll get into later, but 2, sending out massive volume. What sending out lots of volume also helps you do is to test different value propositions, right? So look at this. This is the same campaign where we were split testing cold emails and seeing, okay, well, which value proposition, which offer works best for this for this product, right? And we were testing A and B, and after sending out about 1,000 each for A and B, we found that B works best, so we stopped sending A and only sent B. And afterwards, a lot more positive responses. So not only will you reach out to more people, or reaching out to more people will get you more sales and more calls, more leads, but it'll also help you test out different value propositions, especially if this is your first time selling to cold traffic and you don't know what to offer them, right? So send out more cold emails and you will quite literally book more calls and be able to test out different value propositions. Now you might say, okay, well, Aryan, I can buy all these accounts and send out massive volume, but I just don't know what to say. Like, what scripts work best? How do I even structure it? What offers work best? Don't worry, I have you covered, because you can join my free school community and you can get this guide down here below, which is pretty much 5 cold email scripts to help you book anywhere between 10 to 20 calls every single month that you can use instantly, no matter for what offer, what industry, what service, what product. Use these scripts. These scripts work. But this is inside my school community. Just press the link in the description below to join, and you can get this free guide for free. This guide for free to help you write scripts and basically steal these scripts to help you book more meetings. So that's the first lesson I learned, to send more cold emails. Second thing is, you have to let your offer do the heavy lifting, right? I see a lot of people when they get into cold email, they're focusing on minute details like subject lines or AI personalization or open rates. Instead, you should be focusing on the offer first. And let me tell you why. A great cold email with a bad offer will lose to an okay cold email with a good offer. So what I mean is you could have a cold email that is extremely short. There's no like links or images. There's a call to action, blah, 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 blah. But if their offer is bad, they're not going to book any calls. Versus a cold email that's kind of long. It might have some links or images, but the offer is so good. You're likely to get more responses with that second option than you are with the first option because the offer literally does all of the heavy lifting. Now, what I need you to understand in terms of offers is you have to speak in terms of the prospect's benefits and desires. What do they get by working with you? What do they get by using your product or services? Don't list out the features of your SaaS or how you're number one SaaS in this industry, whatever. You should instead speak in terms of the prospect's benefits. What do they get? What do they get by working with you? What do they get by using your product, right? And to illustrate my point here, I'm going to show you a poorly drawn triangle, but this illustrates my point in terms of how the offer hierarchy works. So a bad offer would be, we do SEO for you. Okay, the guy or girl reading that email would be like, what does that do for me? A decent offer will be like, we'll rank you number one on Google. Well, okay, then the guy or girl reading that will be like, okay, well, if I'm number one on Google, I'll probably get more leads, more sales, whatever it may be. So not bad. And then an irresistible offer is, hey, we'll get you 10 to 20 leads every month organically. They'll be like, okay, how? How are you going to give me that? And then you say, oh, we'll help you get that by doing SEO, and here's how we'll fix your backlinks, blah, 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 blah. But the way you present your SEO services is by saying, hey, we'll get you 10 to 20 leads every month organically, right? So this is just to help you illustrate the point of how creating an offer works. Most of you, I'm assuming, already know how to create an offer thanks to people like Alex Ramosi, but it still baffles me to this day how many people actually don't even have like a clear offer in their email. I'll review some emails that I get, or I'll review some copywriting emails that I see other people want me to review, and it'll just end up not even having a clear offer. And so it's just like, what are you doing, man? Just read Hermosi's book, and then take a look at your services and product, speak in terms of the prospect's benefits, desires, and pain points, and then turn your services and product into an offer. And here's how we did it for a client who sells videos, right? So this is our onboarding form, and what we do here is we're just trying to get information so that we can write the emails. So we just said, hey, what services do you provide? In your own words, be as detailed as possible. And they told us, yeah, we're a creative personal branding agency that blows up our clients on social media. The services we will provide include strategy, shooting, directing, professional editing, distribution. Now, if we took this and put this in the email, the person that we're emailing would be like, okay, what does this do for me? Like blow me up on social media? Like, what is that going to do for me? That's not going to do anything for me. Why should I even listen to you, right? But what we did was we took this and turned it into an offer. So we took this and we turned it into this. Hey, Barry, with so many health and wellness brands in Miami competing for clients, what's stopping yours from becoming the top choice for customers? We can establish your brand as the leader organically using video all in just 4 hours a month. So pretty much we took this and turned it into this. And the guy reading this was like, okay, sure, like how does this, he said call me, but he was like, he probably in his mind was like, how does this work? Like, how can you turn my brand as a leader organically in just 4 hours a month? How does this work? And how it works is obviously we use videos, but the way we present the videos is just we'll establish a brand as a leader, right? So I'm sure you're starting to see how this works, and the cogs are starting to turn in your head, right? So let your offer do all the heavy lifting, and I promise you will book more calls. The final thing, and this is where people start to fall off and they become inconsistent with cold email, is you have to make sure they actually get the email. Everything, and I mean everything, can be perfect, but if your cold email is in spam, who's going to reply? So this is the reason why most people are not consistent with cold email. What will happen is they'll end up buying a few accounts, and they'll start sending out cold emails. And after about a month or so, they end up landing in spam because they're not following the best deliverability practices. And so they'll be like, okay, well, cold email was working for me when I first started, but after like a month, it stopped working. And the reason it stopped working was because your deliverability, you're landing in spam and your deliverability is horrible. So I'm going to show you examples of good deliverability versus bad deliverability. Bad deliverability is pretty much you have links and images inside your cold email. Your cold email is like over 100 words. You're not warming up your cold email accounts for 2 weeks. You're tracking open rate, and you're not verifying the emails before sending. If you do all of these, do the opposite, because you will end up in spam and your emails will get burnt and you have to end up buying new accounts. So good deliverability is you verify emails before you send it out. It's like 75 words or less. There's no links or images. You warm up your email accounts for 2 weeks and you turn off open rate. Again, this is super important because I guarantee you, I see this all the time with clients who come to us and we're like, hey, Arden, we tried cold email in the past. And either it's the volume thing of they're just not sending out enough volume, or they'll be like, yeah, we were good for like 3 weeks or a month, and then afterwards it went to shit. And then I'll look at their counts and it's literally landing in spam. But I guarantee you, most of you who follow the best practices of copy and lead list, whatever, they're probably getting this wrong. And that's the reason why cold email doesn't work for them, quote unquote. It's just the deliverability, right? So please follow the good deliverability practices and you will be fine. Just do this and you'll be totally fine. If you want like even a full guide on deliverability, again, I have a full guide inside of my free school community, bulletproof checklist to avoid letting it spam, to book more calls. Just click the link in the description, join it, and this goes super in depth on how to avoid landing in spam, like super in depth. But for now, if you just follow this, you will be fine. I guarantee you'll be fine. But if you want a more in-depth guide, just go to my school committee. So with that said, here's a quick summary that I've learned from sending out cold emails over these past 1,000 days. First is to send more cold emails. You need volume to get replies. Do not expect results from just 10 or 20 emails a day. Second, you have to make a good offer. If people don't reply your offer, it probably is not strong or even clear enough on what you do. And I should add, if people don't reply positively. If people don't reply, it could be a spam issue, but if people don't reply like positively, if you're getting a lot of not interested, unsubscribe, whatever, probably because your offer isn't strong or clear enough. And finally, you want to land in the inbox. I should have put 3 here. I don't know why I put 3. But you want to land in the inbox. If your emails go to spam, none of it matters. Just follow the guidelines that I listed above. Follow the guide I also have in my school committee, and stay out of spam. And you'll be able to consistently book calls every single month. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a B2B business and you want someone to build out this entire, not Loom system, this entire system for you or your sales team, click the link in the description below. Here's some results that we've gotten some of our clients. Renee closing some deals, Deepak closing some deals, Jordan closing some deals. And we have a bunch more that you can check out on my website. But if you are interested, click the link below to book a time with me, and we can build out this entire cold email system for you to help you book anywhere between 5 to 12 qualified calls every single month. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.